Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to your January reading 2024. Here we go in 2024. And Happy New Year, of course, with this January reading. So, I meditated on your energy and what Spirit wanted to talk to you about for this month of January. The first, or you arrive in the month of January pretty much in your head. Okay, so we have here the Six of Sword in reverse. So that means that there's something you're not ready to turn the page on. You're not ready to forgive. Under that, I have the Eight of Swords and the Five of Swords in reverse. So we see swords, swords, swords. I'm in my head. I'm in the yes, but I'm not in peace with it. I'm not ready to forgive, but I don't want to bicker, be right about it either. So there's this movement, but somewhere there's something that happens during the month that you're like, you know what? I'm going to jump in there. We understand that the fool is not stuck in his head. The fool has decided with all of his coherence to jump in the situation. He's not halfway there. He's jumping. And it's quite an act of faith because here you're saying, you know what? All that resistance, I'm standing on higher ground and I'm pushing on it. Even if I do not feel backed up by my divine feminine. It's much easier to make a leap of faith if your inner divine feminine is telling you this big yes in your gut. But when she's in reverse, that's when we're not quite connected to it. So we're much more alone in our process. We're not in connection with our higher self, with our soul, with the logos that would tell us, yes, this is it, even if you don't see it. Trust you. When she's in reverse, we're only in the material. So that's why it takes extra willpower to say, I'm pushing through. And under here, I'm pushing through. I'm jumping without knowing exactly where I'm heading. And I'm going to manifest this. It's like a huge taking one's power into what I am deciding to invest, do, continue. I'm not ready to turn the page. I'm making it happen. And I'm not conflicted about it anymore. Still a little bit, but it's going away. And I decided not to reduce myself to what I've known until now. So it's really an investment or maybe even a reinvestment, but with the hope that it will give something more. Like there's more out there and I'm just going to continue. Okay? Either continuing something, in a lot of cases, it is continuing into an investment, a long-term investment that you started, that maybe in the beginning of the month or in December, you were more shaky about. But during the month here, you're kind of affirming your choice to manifest this. And at the end of the month, there we are, King of Swords. There's your decision. First part of the month, we're all shaky with our swords. At the end, we're the King of Swords with our Ten of Pentacles. So I am seeing clearly the worth, the value, the long-term investment. I'm seeing clearly my empire, my empire, what is going to continue my safety, my security, my investment. I'm seeing clearly. Nine of Pentacles. I know I have what it takes to continue it, share it, expand it, and so on. And here, lastly, I have the Seven of Pentacles. And that means that it's a bit of the halfway, because the Seven of Pentacles is analyzing, looking at what is invested until now. So you're still looking at what it is, what you've put into it, what you got out of it, and you're looking at it. But this is kind of more in the don't give up, you're halfway there, continue, you'll get, that you'll get to the Ten of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Pentacles. And that's your inner knowing into what you're investing, that it's safe, secure, and the real worth of it. You'll be backed up. That's your month, my beautiful Capricorn. So it's really that going from doubt to that's it. I know what I'm going and I'm investing in it. So let's clarify this for you. I call upon the divine. I call upon the light. I call upon the Holy Spirit. Help me clarify this reading for Capricorns for the month of January 2024. And yes, I forgot. Happy birthday. May this solar return bring all the wonders and the energy and the healing and the prosperity that you deserve. So, all right, let's clarify. Happy birthday, my beautiful Capricorns. If at the end of the month you'll get like a good idea of what is your legacy and what is it that you want to invest in. Okay, let's look at that Six of Swords in reverse. Why is it in reverse? Okay, because Four of Wands in reverse and my High Priestess in reverse. So when it's not clear, when we kind of go into our head, like I was saying, it's when we don't have that gut certitude, that anchoring divine feminine, seeing past the material certitude. The High Priestess is the one that is the direct link with the logos, with our soul, and so on. When she's in reverse, where we're not feeling connected, we don't have that certitude, that pure intuition based on spiritual connection. And with the Four of Wands in reverse, it's like if we have a hard time seeing how. And this is a bit like, I don't see how it can be happening. I don't see the door that would make it easy, upright. Yes, that's the way. So if I cannot see how, I have a hard time being 100% in my decision. Things are easily up in our head, trying to make sense of it. Eight of Swords, of course, will be conflicted about it, because we have a hard time perceiving, Queen of Swords, the solution. How? Where? How is it going to be done? How is this possible? I'm not seeing the outcome. I'm not seeing the path. I'm all conflicted about it. I have a hard time seeing the pentacle and knowing how I can just bring my heart, Knight of Cups, bringing what I actually would love to bring, what fulfills me emotionally. I don't see how it can happen. but I'm tired of using my past disappointments to kind of prove myself right about that. Whether it is in your job, in love, in whatever it is. But you're right at the point coming into January, right at the point where you could be finishing an old cycle that would allow you to reinvest yourself in a different way. Three of Cups in reverse with the Six of Pentacles. So this is where I know what balance is, what it is to invest oneself and to invest ourselves in a career, in a passion, in a relationship, and have it balanced into what I receive unconditionally and so on. But to bring joy and fulfillment in both. Can I have it energetically balanced? And when I talk about energy, it can also be financially, because finances are just concrete, solid shape of energy exchange. So energetically, and at the same time have that high resonance of joy and grace and gratefulness and so on. The three graces upright. Let's look here. And maybe you're about to, in order to jump into the next thing, maybe there is, since you don't see what the next door is, you have a hard time closing the chapter of what is no longer, because maybe it's not fulfilling, it's not the joy. And now that you know what balance is, although you don't know how to reach it and get it, you might be taking a decision here. Let's look at the Fool. How come the Fool is there? For clarity. Clarity over the fog. And that's why after you have the King of Swords. The Knight of Swords is when we're kind of, now I see. I couldn't see it before. I was in my head. I couldn't perceive it. How I was perceiving things prevented me from having that truth. The truth that will give me the courage to stand my ground and manifest what I want. And not be lost in the maybes and the possibilities that could happen, good or bad, in the projections. Show me the Seven of Wands here. So a couple of sevens. Okay, so right away we have our Eight of Swords that wants to, that turned around. Okay. King of Swords. Eight of Cups in reverse. I think you're going to stick around, kind of thing. Continue to invest in what you've started. For a lot of you, this is what it's going to be. You're not going to leave for more. But you're going to do things differently. You're going to make a judgment on it. King of Cups, judgment. So it's almost like, okay, the way things were, it wasn't functionable anymore. You were in your head, you were conflicted, you're pulling a judgment. You understood something, and you're going to stand your ground. This is what it's about. King of Swords on the Ten of Pentacles. I have Strength in reverse and Two of Cups in reverse. Since we have the King of Swords upright, that tells me that you're seeing clearly an old baggage of misconnections, people, it can be generational karma, we call it, of the mechanical baggage, and now you're seeing it. You know how there's always this argument on free will, the power of choice. Do we have it? Do we not have it? One of the most common arguments is that we're just making the choices based on the programmings of our educations, our experience, and this is kind of a 1 + 1 = 2, which makes us make these decisions there. This is based purely on the lion. This is if you're looking at life through a purely material world. And this, in the tree of life, this is what would be happening in the lower part. So it's program, reaction, education, unconscious beliefs, patterns. All of this is in the lion. It's in the ego. It's in the personal reality, personality. If you rise here to the causal plane, now this is generated by much closer to your soul, much closer to your higher self, to the part of you that is not just a human being in its tribulation, but that is the spiritual entity having the human experience. That is where true free will and choice lays. But if you're only in your lion, then yeah, it's not really free choice. It's just limited by what you can perceive, and things are limited through what you can understand, conceive, and what you believe. So you can see the difference here. And this is a bit what is happening here. Like you're becoming conscious of what is the limits of your lion. You're very conscious of it, of kind of the lion you inherited. So maybe that's why we have the 9 of Pentacles here. Kind of a reassessment of who you are. Because we have Judgment with the King of Cups, so that means with that vibrational intelligence, frequency intelligence, emotional intelligence. Show me the 9 of Pentacles, Spirit. Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles of here. And here I have the King of Wands in reverse. So when it comes to fire, here that hesitancy, that conflict of the 5 of Wands, 4 of Wands in reverse, Lion in reverse, King of Wands in reverse, you are going to notice a generational pattern around willpower. Being able to make the choice of this is what I want. These are my boundaries. This is what I want to go for. A lot of you will stop waiting or will stop having old beliefs. Take up the power, take your power. Let's look at that 7 of Pentacles. The number 7 is a master number. Okay, and there it is. Okay, 7 is a master number because we have the 4 directions plus up and down. That's 6. 7 is the one in the middle. It is the me in the middle of all of this. That's why it's a researcher, knowing, understanding, conscious of all of the direction, invisible, visible, up, down, past, front, all of this. As within, as without, as above, so below, and so on. And so the 7 is the mastery of me in the middle. I am not being swayed by the pendulums and the winds of others and the movements of what majority does and so on. It's a bit of a rebel, the 7, because he is his own core. So that's why it's a master number. In the 7 of Pentacles, here he's analyzing in what he's investing. His energy is on pause. Should I put more in there? He's pensive. Should I put more energy in there or not? Does it need more water? Does it need, what am I doing? And here we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. So we're facing an old sadness in the results of our investments. Okay? That's my empire. And I have a lot of grieving and sadness and loss in what I've invested, in what I've put my energy. It did not give what I wanted. It created loss and sadness and grieving. But I'm understanding something out of this. I'm pulling a judgment where I'm seeing an old pattern that was repeating itself. And this is going to be very liberating because you're going to be investing yourself differently. This is what is going to allow you to see your Ace of Pentacles. It's going to allow you to understand why maybe that profit, that balance wasn't part of the results you had until now. So I will call this understanding a pattern. And it's a very interesting pattern because it has to do about how you invest yourself and in a way rising above judgment. It's all about embracing the shadow that had these beliefs so that it becomes part of our consciousness and is not making us mechanically having the same results all the time. You're kind of saying, no more, I understand, and this is how I'm going to manifest now. I understand when my lion was over my higher self, when the mechanical human tribulation pattern, all of this was stronger than the spiritual that can actually have the power over in the causal plane. So, understanding a pattern and breaking it at the same time. I'll call this breaking a pattern. So on this, my beautiful Capricorns, I'm going to send you all my love and light. And happy birthday again. And if you want a private reading, there's the website in the description below the video. You go on there. Openings should start around the 17th in the schedule. And on this, all my love and light. Thank you for watching, sharing, commenting, and please subscribe to help grow the channel. And thank you also for the ones of you who gave donations. It helps more than you think. And of course, new moon, full moons. I ask the divine to give you back in the way that is the most profitable for your growth, your expansion, and your joy in this life. Namaste. See you next month.